All right, so we have another one. This is the self-serving bias. People's tendency to attribute positive events to their own character, but attribute negative events to external causes. I mean, this is a lot, why didn't you pass your driver's test? Well, I didn't pass because the roads were very slippery. I didn't pass because, people around me were being really dumb. Why didn't you do good in the football game? So I just saw the XFL games. I forgot what quarterback it was, but he was making excuses like, the coach is not, giving the right plays. We're not scheming well against this defense and stuff like that. And it's this constant thing where we try to, help ourselves cope with negative things. And it's good in a way, but it can get really bad. We easily remember info that helps our point of view, our belief, our ideology, our idea of self. And it's harder for us to think of things that go against that. There was a study done with doctors where they were given freebies by pharmaceutical companies. And they asked, asked doctors, like, what do you think how much is influencing other doctors, prescribing patients? It was 64% of them said, yeah, I believe, these freebies from pharmaceutical companies are affecting other doctors in their way of diagnosing people and their treatment for them. And then they were asked, well, what percent or how is this affecting you in your decisions? And only 16% said, yeah, it probably is affecting my decisions on what I'm doing. And I think one of the hard things about this is it's sort of trying to throw out information. We gather it and stuff like that. If something happens, we try to cloud it in a way to make us seem better. But I think it's going to be a lot better overall if we can look at it forward and try to understand it. But yeah, that is a self-serving bias. People's tendency to attribute positive events to their own character, but attribute negative events to external causes. And you can go throughout this in your life and think about times when, hey, I did something really good. Yeah, that's due to me because I'm a really good individual. That's just who I am. You did really good on this test. Yeah, I know, I'm super smart. And I remember what test was it? It was an online test I remember doing. And I remember I did good on it. And somebody else did it and they did bad. And they're like, and we were both very smart people. Well, I wouldn't say very smart. I mean, for the test we were taking, we would have done good on it. Person didn't do as good, but yet the questions weren't the same. You might take a test. It's like, oh, I studied this stuff, and that was what was on the test. And somebody else studied this stuff, but that other stuff was on the test, and they did worse. It isn't sort of this ones and zeros sort of thing. There's a lot of questions that arise that you might be better at than somebody else, and somebody else might be better than you. And you cloud your judgment saying, wow, I did really good on that test, and that person did not do good on that test. It must be due to their character, not in stuff like that. But if I do good on a test, it's due to me. If I do bad on that test, it's due to the test not having a good distribution of whatever questions that are in my favor. So I think that's a really important thing to know and a good way of looking at reality, looking at yourself and doing good self-analyzation to get a better grasp on what's going on. And I mean, we do this all the time. People do it all the time, and it's a good thing to notice when somebody's doing it or when you're doing it. But yeah, that is the self-serving bias. Thank you very much.